Greetings, and so good to be here. Thank you to the Indian American Muslim Council for inviting me to speak out about human rights and religious freedom in India. I'm so glad you're having this summit. It's incredibly important. Over the last several years, I've connected with many Indian Americans in my district and learned about the injustices. Throughout my candidacy and certainly throughout my first 6 months in office, I've been very clear about human rights and what's happening in marginalized communities here in America, but in Palestine, China, Yemen, India, across the globe. We must speak out about these horrifying events. Unfortunately, in recent years, India is facing the same right-wing fascism that attempted to destroy our own democracy not that long ago. I believe that this is happening frequently and more frequently than we can imagine throughout our nation and other nations. I believe this ultra-nationalism and this very supremacist ideology are the greatest threats to our national security. In the last 7 years, hundreds of Muslims just walking down the street have been attacked by vigilante mobs. They've been lynched. It is a travesty of justice, and I'm horrified by it. Religious minorities, social and political activists, lawyers, journalists, and even students are attacked all the time. The worst brunt of the government's persecution is being faced by India's 200 million Muslims, who now face statelessness thanks to this horrible National Register for Citizens, or the NRC as it's called. I can't get over it. I didn't think I'd see this in my lifetime, but we are. Across India, but especially in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, Muslims have been subjected to killings alarming even the United Nations officials who wrote to the Uttar Pradesh government about these killings. Amnesty International has documented the violence against Muslims, whether from the police in response to the protests against the citizenship law or in the Indian capital of New Delhi last year by rioting mobs who were allegedly part of Hindu nationalists. Thousands of Muslims who protested the citizenship law, as well as those who lost family members and property in the violence against them, continue to be in prison. Our own report from the United States Department, released by Secretary Blinken in 2020, speaks at length about the persecution of India's Muslims and Christians. The report said, and I quote, "There were reports of religiously motivated killings, assaults, riots, discrimination, vandalism, and actions restricting the right of individuals to practice and speak about their religious beliefs." The report further states that Muslim academics, human rights activists, former police officers, and journalists allege anti-Muslim bias in the investigation in relation to Delhi. India is the world's second most populated country with over 1.3 billion people. Religious persecution, violation of human rights, curbs on civil and political rights are going to make India less secure, not more. I assure you. India's equity and standing in the eyes of the world are severely damaged already. Freedom House has downgraded its rating for India's democracy from being free to partly free. That's heartbreaking. Persecution of entire sections of society, especially when backed by governments, is a recipe for a future filled with disaster. We must do better. We must pressure both our adversaries and our allies to support human rights around the world for the sake of a cohesive existence and sustainable peace across the globe. Hate anywhere is unacceptable. So my message to you is thank you for your great work. I am your partner, and you can reach out to me whenever you would like. And I appreciate deeply what you do across the globe, and certainly for India and what you do here in America. We're all neighbors and we're all a community. So with that, I wish you all well. Thank you.